What's going on? This is the sync update for the month of March 2024. I love giving these videos of behind the scenes because I believe this is just as important as the front end stuff about the tips and tricks about getting into sync licensing. I just want to give you the reality of what you may get paid. Before we get to the payment, I'm always surprised when I get new cues. So when I come in to my ASCAP, I love how they redid the site and they just show you right here, 5 new cues. Man, that's so exciting. Let's see what new shows I got into. So if you look at the top with ASCAP, they highlight in green on the left what your newest cues is. So I got a new cue in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And let's just look, just the episodes. I have 50 cues. 50 different episodes my songs is played there. I mean, that's crazy, man. My songs have been putting in some work. So we look at Love Hip Hop. Oh, I didn't want to open. There we go. So we got 3 different ones from Love and Hip Hop. This Heartland 2019 placement, and then a Pac-10 football cue with the Mississippi and Georgia game. So I like having those cues. I like seeing new different cues like that. Now let's get to how much I earned. Even though it's March, I'm updating this a little bit late on the payment because this came in February and this is my international royalty statement. And if you look right here, right under my face, I got a whopping $200, $238.46. Hey, it's not the big bucks, but it's still some money that I'm making on old cues. Now, usually my international statements are lower than my regular domestic earnings. If we look right here, highlighted domestic earnings, this was the previous month. So I almost had $4,000, and that's when I usually get the bulk of my money. $4,000 is definitely an outlier for me to have in a month, but $200 is still something, right? You can still go to some more equipment or whatever it is. And again, we can see if we look at this little breakdown, like these charts, a bulk of the placements come from television placements. And once you get into a library, that's probably where your placements will come, bulk from blanket licensing. Unless we scroll down, you can't see the numbers here, but the top is UK, what I got paid over $60 in the UK, Italy in the second, almost $50, and Canada, close to $40. So these are the top 3 performances, and you can see all the international places where my music has played. So hey, I can say technically my music has been played around the world. I know it's not a famous pop hit or nothing like that, which I wouldn't mind getting one of those, but hey, a lot of people can't say that. I mean, looking at some of these places, you can't see it, but like right here at the bottom, Chile, France, El Salvador, Australia, Philippines, they all paying 1 cent. So all I made was 1 cent on there. So it just is what it is. If I click my performance categories and break it down, then you can see television is the biggest earner right here at almost $160. Then we got television cable retransmission, almost $30, and other royalties coming in at about $23. And they have all these other on-demand, download internet, live performances, things like that. Just to show you the breakdown, what I mean by the international and domestic ways of payment. Now for ASCAP, I can't speak for anything else because I'm not in other PROs. You're only allowed to be in one PRO. If you're in one, they collect other royalties, right? I live in Canada, but I signed up for ASCAP because I used to live in the United States for most of my life, and that's who I started with, but they collect everything else. So if I lived in Canada, if I had signed up while I was in Canada, I would be in SOCAN, and my international would be anything other than Canada. So if we look here, even though this is not the whole year 2024, but you can see the pattern of different things that go out and how they pay and how they switch. You see it got domestic writer, domestic publisher, domestic writer. So you don't get paid every month unless you're a publisher and a writer. You might get different things like that every month, but that's just how they go through divvying it out. that was the breakdown. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. I hope you like these behind the scene things. And even if you don't, I'm going to keep making these behind the scene videos because I actually like these more than the tips and tricks. Like, yeah, you can learn different things, which is all cool and all, but I don't think in any industry we don't share numbers and money a lot. I get it. Sometimes if we were making a lot of money, it can seem like we're bragging, or it can make people feel bad because if they don't have enough money and you're getting all this money, it may come off pretentious, or you're not related to somebody. But I don't know why we have so much problems talking about money, even though money is the main way we live, right? You really can't do anything without money. You can't buy food, you can't buy housing, you can't buy things you need, experiences, different things. You work a job to earn money to live. So that's why I like talking about money. I don't think enough people do, and they're not obligated to talk about it because sometimes if you do get a big placement, you might sign a contract that say you can't say how much you actually made. But since I'm not big time status right now, while I can tell you numbers, I'm going to tell you numbers to give you a realistic view of what you can expect from sync licensing. Yes, some people can make a full-time income. Me, I don't. Ever since I started sync licensing, I've always had a full-time job, and I will always tell you that I have a full-time job. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm just supporting myself off of sync licensing alone, because it's a long game play. It's a long game. Some people may get lucky and get big money early, but you don't hear those more often than not. So I hope you enjoy these behind the scenes. I'm going to continue to doing them. I love these. These are one of my favorite videos. It's just low key behind the scenes, expressing and showing you the raw receipts, the raw numbers to show that I'm not making none of this stuff up, and giving you a better mindset to think about if you want to be in this game, because you got to stick it out. Getting the highs and lows of payments is just like any other entrepreneurial business that you will start. There's good months and there's some not so good months, but you got to keep pushing along. So thanks for watching. Take it easy. Peace.